Well, medical device makers are shipping jobs overseas, and they're saying it is the Food and Drug Administration's fault. The companies say that delays at the FDA have forced them to focus more on markets outside the United States. Bloomberg Shannon Petty piece is here with more on this. So who are some of these companies saying this?
Well, one of them that's making some of the biggest moves is Volcano Corp. They're a company that makes imaging equipment. They said that they're going to move 600 manufacturing jobs from the U.S. to either Brussels or Costa Rica. Another company's talking about this, Delcath. They want to move 24 jobs to Europe. And the medical device industry, the trade group that represents these companies, they say we're going to start seeing more and more of this because it's got a lot harder to approve medical devices in the U.S. The FDA has been raising the bar recently. And the FDA's always had higher standards for medical devices than in Europe. In Europe, you just have to prove a device is safe. In the U.S., you have to prove it's safe and effective. But the companies say that gap has gotten wider. And approval times, if you look at this graph here, it takes on average 4.5 years to get a medical device approved in the U.S. from the first time it gets onto you start talking to the FDA to when it's actually approved, only 11 months in Europe. So that's sort of the gap they're talking about. That's what's got companies so concerned here.
What does the FDA have to say about this?
Well, the FDA says, this is a lot of complaining on the part of the companies. They say that the companies have sort of, misinterpreted or misused some of these data and some of these numbers they use about how hard it is to get a drug approved here. And the FDA commissioner, she said earlier this month, they're not going to lower their standard. They're not going to go to European model. And the FDA got into a lot of trouble back in 2005 where there were these implantable heart defibrillators that got recalled. It was a big problem for a lot of patients. And at that time, it really was a wake-up call to the FDA to crack down on devices. And they say, they're not going to put something out there that's not safe and effective just to appease these companies, basically.
It makes sense, but certainly they both have their points. Let me just, there's something else going on in the pharmaceuticals world. Acura won FDA approval, right, for a new product. How significant is this?
Well, this is a very big product for Acura. It's their first drug on the market. Their shares up about 70% earlier today. I haven't checked since the market opened, but stocks are way up. And what this product is, it's an abuse-resistant form of a painkiller. So it can't be crushed, it can't be injected, it can't be snorted the way a lot of people use these painkillers. And it's the first time we've had an immediate release painkiller, so one of these fast-acting painkillers approved in this sort of abuse-resistant form. The fast-acting ones are the ones that everyone wants to use. And
right.
I mean, as we know, we've talked about here before, these painkillers are a huge problem. 28,000 people die a year from overdosing on prescription drugs.
Using them.
Most of those are painkillers. It's a huge, huge problem. So hopefully this gives doctors an alternative. Let's say there's someone who they think may be going to abuse this product. Here's something they can give them to help with their pain and not have that concern here as well. And I should also note PFIZER is involved with this product as well.
Okay, Shannon, thank you.